Welcome back to Cracking Baubles. You got your host All here. This time we're going to cover some ProQuest Silver Age, hosted by my good friends Noodle Empire. Today with me, I have top 2 finalists on Silver Age, Battle Hardened Columbus, on Enigma, Cubi.
Hello, everybody. My name is Cubi. I was indeed how Al said, I was the finalist at Battle Hardened Columbus with Enigma. I am also a member of Battle Vampires. I have helped contribute a lot on the Enigma decklist that most of my teammates are using. And I've been brewing a lot of Silver Age. It's a fun format.
Right? It was a great format. Unfortunately, we're recording this after the Calling Montreal weekend, and this event happened before it, but it's fine. Talk to me. What happened during the Calling, and what happened during the battleground? It's called the showdown.
Well, the showdown was a banger, if I remember correctly. There was a KO. There was some Briars, a lot of Briars. Lexi. I didn't play the showdown. I wasn't. I was a little bit tired from work, but I have my good teammate Daniel Dreisiger that got top 8 with KO.
Right. Well, as you heard it, we had an amazing weekend. I do suggest you guys could go take a look at the Calling Montreal. The nice part is we had a lot of Montrealers top either the showdown or the Calling. So go take a look. You'll see other names that you haven't seen before. But with that, let's take a look into our meta. Oh, shit, I forgot to count how many people joined this event. We can do a quick count, but the usual suspects are already there. We have Briar and KO both at 6. Enigma, popularized by our good friends Cubi over here, 4. And then popular decks, Dory, Kano at 2. And then weird one-ofs.
Yeah, I may have baited too many people on Enigma, I would say. This meta breakdown looks pretty expected. If you look at the PQ breakdowns from LSS, Briar and KO are always sitting at the top. Enigma is a little bit lower on the ladder. I think Dorinthia was outperforming Enigma and Kano as well. But it is pretty expected to see KO and Briar being the 2 most popular decks in the meta.
Sounds about right. I guess most of our locals decided not to join, seeing the timing or how much it was costing, since the Calling was happening right around the corner. They might have wanted to hide their secrets. But with that, looks like we have our game one loaded. We're ready to swap it in. We have a classic matchup, the ones from the weekend right before, Briar and Kano. What are you looking into in this matchup, QB?
All right, I am looking for some blazing fast Silver Age gameplay right here. Briar, like the premier aggro deck in this meta right now, and Kano being the premier wizard deck that is known for cheating a little bit on your opponent's turn with the instant hero ability. Also starting the game at 15 life against the most aggressive deck in the meta. I'm expecting this game to be a couple of turns, if not less.
Right. The thing to keep in mind is this was pre-bans, so Briar still have access to that lightning press. That and Showdown Montreal, you could still see it, but after that, man, it's no longer there. All right, so we're looking to see who can kill faster. Can Kano one-shot his opponent from Arcane, or will Briar with our Cheerios red aggro win? All right, looks like our players are set up to play this game now. We're looking at Jabber going first. Dice roll was won by Charles, opting for Jabber to go first over here. In this situation, what is the best that you're hoping for, QB?
So this is gonna be a blazing fast game. Briar, the premier aggressive deck in the meta, and then Kano being one of the best wizard right now. He has a measly 15 HP, so this game needs to go quick and need to hit some good Kano abilities. I'm expecting basically 2 or 3 turn maybe game.
Right. Tunic wouldn't have even been online in Blitz format. Starting strong with a Entwine Lightning revealing a Lightning Surge. So we know
Ooh.
Jabber is going to arsenal that and be ready for next turn, have an actual attack.
Good start to his turn. Looking at Charles Antoine hands, I'm assuming he's gonna just spend a lot of blocking here.
Blocking ones are just leaking small damages. Apology to YouTube viewers. This was game one. We didn't adjust the lighting perfect yet. It's going to look better for next games. Charles driving that Ravenous Rabble was like, oh, it's pretty over here. Yeah. That is the alternate art of Ravenous Rabble. Exclusive promo, if I recall. I don't remember which calling it was. But revealing a Scar for Scar. I think Jabber's going to try and set up, maybe go lower life and play that Scar for Scar. Charles here is just leaking 1 damage and 1 damage again.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so Jabber forgot his embodiment of Earth Trigger on the first attack, which shouldn't be a problem. I'm not assuming Kano runs any big attacks against Briar.
You're right. I don't think it's going to matter. Oh, and Caster Curse buff. The moment you mention it, right after this, the embodiment of Earth just appears on board. So that Lightning Press was arsenaled. We're going to see how much damage Charles can pull off with his hand over here.
I believe it was a Lightning Surge.
Oh, sorry, Lightning Surge to go again from Arsenal, yeah. That is Ether Quickening in hand. Arcane Polarity reveal. That is a very interesting choice into Briar.
I'm surprised to see Arcane Polarity into Briar. It's notably for the Rune Chance from Arcane Seed's Life or the Pink from Burn Up Shock. But what a game where we kind of hope goes blazing fast. I wouldn't. I'm surprised to see an Arcane Polarity.
Yes, I would have opted to have more block cards or something to amp to kill Briar even faster. Because Briars, we're expecting them to be on Cheerios list, like Redline essentially. Here we're seeing Arcane Barrier 1, Spell Void 1 from Jabber's side.
So we have the first Kano activation here. Seems unsure on whether he wants to banish or not. But
what kind of targets you think he would not want to banish in that case?
I think Absorbinator would be probably the worst case scenario, as it is a card that you cannot actually banish. Oh, but we get an Emerald Scolding. I believe it is a blue Emerald Scolding.
That checks out for now. And I'm just wondering what Charles decides to pitch. Is he going to keep a card in Arsenal? Or how's this turn going to play out?
Yeah. Well, if he's playing Arcane Polarity, pitches Arcane Polarity, that's interesting.
Jabber pitching away the Scar for Scar. Arcane Barrier in 1. He's not going low enough to be able to play that Scar for Scar. I'm wondering why he's not keeping it in his hand, maybe to set it up in an arsenal.
Yeah, so I'm assuming there's probably another attack in hand that does not have a go again, and he doesn't have enough non-attacks to make an embodiment of lightning. So it could be that he just wants to maximize the value of what he can play this turn.
Right, so he's cosplaying Aurora instead of playing Briar, half attack, half non-attack action cards. So let's see how he converts his entire hand over here. How much damage he can threaten. I'm pretty sure in hand, you can, and plus Arsenal, you can threaten the entire life of Kano over here. So the card we mentioned earlier set up Lightning Surge from the Arsenal 0 for 4, and there's still 3 cards in Jabber's hand. How is Charles going to block, and how much damage can he swing back?
Yeah, so 4 go again. It's the name of the game for Briar. Good start to the turn. Kano's, I feel like Kano's a little bit on the back of it here. But at the same time, he does start at 15, so it's not that bad.
It's not that bad as you're saying, but we already see 1 Emmer Scalding engrave from the Charles first turn. You just block with an Emmer Scalding, and there's 1 last Emmer Scalding in his hand. There's only so many targets left. So Garland's Spring was sacrificed, and we're playing a non-attack action, buffing your next attack by 3. I forgot that card names. I was going to say Doubling Season. I don't think that's the right one.
I believe it's Sprout Strength.
Sprout Strength. That would check out. So Sprout Strength, Starfall for 5 over here. Go again. So that's already a lot of damage. See Charles playing Cindering Foresight. Red. Going to opt 3.
Hopefully we get to find a Mirror Scolding. Um, I don't see much from the hand right now. I do see an Arcane Twining, Aether Quickening.
And I'm not sure what the white border card is in the middle either. All right. Looks like Charles is keeping it on top deck in the exact order. He's happy to send back that damage. The only card that could deal more damage would have been an Immersive Scalding, but he already has 3 out.
Yeah. So, yeah. So activates Kano.
Pitching Immersive Scalding, banishing Aether Quickening red.
Yeah.
And then, oh, that was a Photon Splicing blue.
Photon Splicing Blue, yeah. So this also empties Charlatan hands, which makes his Unyielding Grip online for a +3 Blade Break.
Right. This unflinching or unyielding, sorry.
Unyielding Grip.
Unyielding is so important. Remember, in Silver Age, block is premium, and unyielding has an amazing synergy with Kano. Mind explaining why?
Yes, so Kano usually likes to answer and use Kano activations on your opponent's turn, since he plays 6 copies of Emeritus Scolding, which deals more damage when it's on your opponent's turn. And then basically Kano just gets to empty his hand with Kano activations and block 3 with the Unyielding Grip, which is a little bit of life padding, gives you like maybe an extra turn into aggressive decks.
That makes perfect sense. And earlier on, we're mentioning that Jabber pitched one of the 2 Scar for Scars. There's our answer. He had 2 Scar for Scars in hand, and that's the reason why his hand doesn't convert.
Yeah. So no go again for Jabber. Arsenal's the next card, so good good job maximizing your value. They're not just IPing a card.
That makes perfect sense. So that was well played from Jabber from both of our side. What I'm wondering is, what is the kill range for Charles? What should Jabber be watching out for?
So the highest combo Charlatan could potentially do right now, if we didn't look at his hand, would probably be Red Emir Scolding into double snapback, amping one of those attacks with Crucible, which would be 13 damage, which would present lethal here. But we have to remember that Jabber also has Helm of Might and Magic, which is Blade Break 1, Spell Void 1, which he would survive at 1 HP, if that were to happen.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So he has Arcane Barrier 1 and Null Rune 1. That is indeed a lot. All right, so we're seeing Cracking the Bracers of Belief, attacking with Fry. One of those cards that just naturally has Go Again in Briar's deck.
Yeah.
If you're cosplaying Aurora, the thing to keep in mind, not every card will have natural Go Again. So you have to run Fry just to ensure you have enough natural Go Again so you can play your turn out.
Yeah, a little bit of a consistency piece. Briar's a very aggressive deck, so this little block 0 at the bottom is not very used often, and the whole rest of the deck is not really block. You don't really block a lot with.
I just want to put a little attention. Jabber's playing with the extended art Lightning Press, the promo version. A lot of his deck is blinged out.
Yeah, it's also the Rainbow Full Extended Art Fry. Coming for 8.
Ooh, Charles is down to 1. So Jabber's saying, whatever I attack with, I'm forcing you to block or try to combo and kill me. But I'm at 13. You only have 3 cards left in hand. I don't think Charles has this.
Yeah, one of the weaknesses of Kano is starting at 15 life in this blazing fast format. Charlatan on the back foot here. He's going to have to survive. He's going to need to find a Eureka turn, which I'm not too sure if it's possible at this point.
I'm just dying of laughter in my head now because you keep talking about blazing fast format. We're getting Blaze soon. You were mentioning earlier how Kano is probably the best wizards. The other ones we have Verdance, Icelander, Ocilia. We're soon getting Brocilio from the spoilers we saw. But
yeah, Brocilio.
How different would you think Blaze would be in this format compared to Kano?
I'm assuming Blaze is going to be a little bit more... like, she still starts at a lower life. She's at 17 life. But she is, like, a little bit less combo-oriented. Like, I'd say a little bit more mid-rangey, but, like, not quite. Needs to do a lot of opting, so Aether Spindles is usually a pretty good card, although I think they just banned it in the newest BNR.
Yeah, very unfortunate. There's one nice thing here, is we see Jabbers playing Arcanic Crackle, which is 1 Arcane, 3 Physical. That weird breakpoint in Arcane and Physical is is very punishing. Jabber reminding that there's one arcane before the physical happens.
Yeah, luckily we have a B1 from the Spellfire Cloak. But it is not a spot you want to be in as Kano right now.
Right, because imagine that you crack your Spellfire Cloak to gain that one resource and try to Arcane Barrier, and then you don't have Arcane Barrier left. So he's forced to pitch it, and to pitch his last 2 cards and just hope for Jabber to have not enough pressure, no go against with a 4-card hand. 1 Lightning Press is gone. I don't know if he's playing Razor Reflex or is there any other combat trick he could do. But right now, Charles-Antoine has to hope for a Hail Mary to get out of here. That's Entwine Lightning fused with Weave Lightning. So that's 4 go again. With those weird breakpoints we're talking about, I think Charles just has to go for the kill here.
Yeah. There's a way to get out, I think. I believe if you go Absorbinator.
There's the Absorbinator.
Emerita Scolding double snapback, but unfortunately we don't see a snapback in hand right now.
We did not see the snapback, unfortunately, but yes, that is Absorbinator pitching the Energy Potion. If the Energy Potion was played any earlier, he would have been a good spot. So here we're getting Double Strike, Weave Lightning, 1 last card in Jabber's hand. That's going to be 6. It should strip the last 2 cards from Charles' hand. And I don't think in any situation you would want to break your Spellfire Cloak, since you still need Arcane Barrier in case you see that burn up shock.
Yeah, a little bit of fatigue by damage here. Charlatan really hanging on for his dear life here.
This is round 1, and you're already hanging by your life, starting against Briar, the ultra aggressive deck that we mentioned earlier. Okay, I think that's a Voltic Bolt and a Reverberate revealed. Charles is putting both at the bottom of his deck.
Both at the bottom. Needs to see something better here.
Something better apparently is Block 6 Pass.
Oof. Yeah, I would have liked to see this Talismanic Lens maybe used on the next turn on a 4-card hand. Potentially the Hail Mary double snapback.
All right, here is Arcane Seed's life. Just to say, you have to Arcane Barrier me or else you're dead.
Yes.
Arcane Seed's life, 2 Rune Chants. Those are nice. Those are the Aurora Cold Foil Rune Chants though, not the Florian ones. And is that a Bramble Spark? No, it's a... Is it? I can't tell.
Oh, I cannot tell as well.
I'm gonna blame staff with their bad lighting. Yeah. They have to do better lighting for us casters.
Yeah. Unfortunately, so this white card for 4. Pending card name.
Pending card. Arcane Polarity was played.
Arcane Polarity.
Just to gain 1 HP.
Yeah, this is one of the downsides of Arcane Polarity. It is not a very good card when you're at 1 life, unfortunately.
That is very unfortunate. Jabber just passing because he didn't have... That was a Photon...
A little awkward hand here for Jabber.
He could not convert his hand.
This could be Charles-Antoine's opportunity to fight back here.
To claw back up. 2 cards in hand, Voltic and Immer Scalding. I don't think there's any Immer Scalding left in the deck at this point. Pitching it to Crucible and passing turn.
Ooh.
That is not the spot you want it to be. Extended Art Nimblism. Sizzle.
Ooh, Arcanic Shockwave.
Shockwave. That is
1 Arcane
and go again. Courtesy of the embodiment of lightning. That is not the spot you want to see from Charles. If Charles doesn't kill Jabber here, he has to commit his entire hand.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, can activation here makes... Oh no, it's for the AB?
Fist Bump Extended. This was what you were seeing. Non-stop aggro, blazing fast format from in this meta. I don't know how Charles could have clawed out of here. What is...
Yeah, usually the Kano Briar matchup involves a lot of luck on Kanos, and unfortunately for Charles-Antoine, he did not. The luck was not on his side today.
Luck was not on his side. Well, that was round 1. We got the classic Kano and Briar. Let's load up into the second game. Over here, we have Romai and Kano. These 2 players are local favorites. Rather good players that either qualified for Worlds or played every Nationals and are top players. Looking at this game real quick without seeing the players' tags, player names, who do you think would take this?
Oh, it's hard to say. I haven't really seen Dromai and Kano in action and to see Norin stage. I'm expecting the Illusionist matchup to usually be a little bit cursed for Kano. Kano does have a couple of poppers for some of the dragons, but usually I think Dromai is a pretty aggressive deck that gets a lot of snowball value from the allies.
Very fair. So, yeah, you're mentioning how you never played against this. So, I'm going to give you the quick rundown. The question becomes, in how many blues is Dromai playing? Because in Classic Constructed, you were famously playing 60 reds. At Silver Age, I don't know if our Dromai player here decided to play some blues just to get good values and be able to play a few cards. And the next question is, as you said, how many poppers, how many phantasm triggers do you have in Kano? All right, so that's what we're looking out for, guys. Let's load into the game.
Also, Aether Ashwings usually have Arcane Barrier 1, right? So this is an interesting interaction I hadn't thought about.
Right. That's the thing you need to keep in mind. Dromai never needed to play Arcane Barrier because her dragons were her Arcane Barrier. But that's pre-BNR. So Rake the Ambers isn't available yet. Dromai does not have a small army of little Ashwings that swing. So the Arcane Barrier looks to be a premium. So what here I'm looking for is seeing how many blues and how many Arcane Barrier Michelle is bringing to see if he could survive Kano, or if he thinks he could just play his entire board and outvalue Kevin. All right, so I got the notes here. Kevin won the dice roll and he's going... Michelle won the dice roll and Kevin is going first.
Kano bleeding out a little bit with this Marvel Kano from Compendium of Rape.
Right, it came out in Compendium and he had it week 1 for the ProQuest. What a Giga Chad. That's an interesting glove. That was the Ant 1 glove from Rosetta. I forgot the name.
I believe it's Hold Focus or Hocus Pocus, something like that.
Hocus Pocus.
No, Hocus Pocus is a Runeblade card. That's a Runeblade
card. It's the Runeblade that makes fun.
I believe. Ooh,
it is Hold Focus.
Aether Spindle.
Aether Spindle right in hand, and I'm seeing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are gaming.
We are, but look at Michelle's hand. I saw Arcane Polarity. That's exactly where he wants to be on turn 0.
Yeah, that is not what you want to see as
pitching Yanderai, making an Ash already. Silken Form is Quell, so end of turn it will be destroyed, and then we still see a Chromai and a second Yanderai. Chromai is the card you want to play against for Phantasm.
Yeah.
All right, so Chromai, Yanderai, and Arcane Polarity. Kevin gets to opt 4 cards. Those are really beautiful damage cards. And he has the Emerald Scalding in Arsenal too. Oh, I'm not too sure about this. Right, seems like he said pass. Michel Corvino over here is going to break his Silken Form.
Polarities?
No, that is 1 Arcane Polarity.
Oh, okay.
No, it was Chromai and Yanderai in hand.
Okay. I was like, oh no.
That is not the spot you would have wanted to be if you were Kevin, seeing your opponent start at 24 HP when you're at 15. And that is the second Arcane Polarity.
There it is. All right.
I don't know how Kevin's gonna come out of this situation.
Not what you want to see on the Kano side right now.
All right, and Michelle is cashing in his Glory Seeker here, pitching 3 cards to make 3 Ash, 3 Dromai triggers. Kevin gets to respond before, and he goes and he's banishing top deck. He already knows he has Voltic Bolt for 5 plus 1, so that's 6. Michel Corvino looks at his hand, see the Arcane Polarity, and just takes it.
Yeah, takes 6.
Then Dromai triggers 3 times.
Oh, and then the Arcane Polarity triggers the Dromai's go again because he played a red.
Yes, that is so, and that it goes second Scalding from hand. That is 4. No, sorry, that was a blue Scalding. Michel just took 8 damage over here. Gets his 3 Ashwing triggers, which is exactly what you want to be as As Dromai? Oh, this is not where you want to be as Kevin. He has no idea what's coming up to him soon, though. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Dust up for 4.
Dust stuff.
Kevin has no card in hand. He takes the 4, and Michel Corvino gets a second Ashwing.
And then the Arcane
The Arcane Polarity. So Kevin played his entire hand to effectively deal 4 damage.
No, notably, Michel could have played the Arcane Polarity first and then swing with Ashwing before Dust Up, right? Because Kevin doesn't have a card in hand right now.
He could have swung the Ashwing first. That would have been a better play, in my opinion, yes.
A little bit miss damage here, but it's okay. It's okay. We're in a good spot.
All right, Kevin just passed his turn, drew back his entire hand, and there goes the second Chromai. At this point, you need 2 Phantasm Popper to stop Michel Corvino's turn. Full grip, 3 cards in hand. That is a Mirror Guy, a sweeping blow, and a Bellowing Mirage. He can make a second Ashwing. That is not a third Ashwing, and he has 2 cards that attacks that don't have Phantasm in his hand. Oh my god, Kevin just took 1 and 1. Bellowing Mirage, pitching. That's sweeping blow pitch, Bellowing Mirage swinging for 3, making an Ash, transforming right away into an Ashwing. That is not the spot you want to be in as Kevin. I don't think so.
No. Kevin on the back foot here, already at 6 HP. Dromai had a healthy 16 from the 2 Arcane Polarities.
Oh my god. Kevin's situation, I think he'll have to find a way to deal arcane damage at Chromai and hope to draw Phantasm. To draw a 6 or higher attack next turn to pop. To just get some breathing room, because damn, 16 to 5 HP. Immersive Scalding has to go to face, unfortunately. He wants to unbreak that arsenal.
That makes sense.
That's 2 for 4 pitching reds. And Michel Corvino just Arcane Bars 2
AB2s
and just makes 2 more Ashwings. That's, oh my god.
Yeah, this is I can see now that this is a pretty rough matchup for Kano. It looks like
A Blazing Azulai, 2
it is
physical
now
and 1
Dromai's turn to send arcane damage.
Illusionists do arcane damage very rarely, but they do. With the new one, I believe his name is Ziggy. You guys see it from the new set. He does arcane damage too.
They gave my illusionist Waning Moon. Crazy.
Waning Moon, but with a condition. Oh, Cindering Foresight, we see the Fiendal Fighting Spirits in the top 3. So Kevin wants to live to his next turn to see that Fiendal Fighting Spirit to be able to survive. That was just a tragedy for Kevin over here. Played so much arcane damage, and then Michel Corvino just went, here's Arcane Polarity, and here's another one. Blazing fast format indeed. Let's see how Kevin gets out of this situation. He played his Cindering Foresight from Arsenal. He has still 4 cards in hand, but dealing 15 damage and surviving the 3 physical here, another 1 arcane and 2 physical from Azulai, and 3 little Ashwings. That's 9 damage represented on board. Kevin cannot give his entire hand to try and kill Michel Overhill.
A tough spot for Kano here. Is there a way to call it back from here? Seems very difficult.
I would say the card is called Singed, but I don't think anyone's playing Singe. Seeing how either Ashwings basically didn't exist due to Rake the Embers being banned, but now that Rake the Embers is back, is it time to play Singed in red?
I have yet to see someone resolve.
Oh, that is disgusting. Blaze headlong for 4 go again, stripping the last 2 cards from Kevin. Cindering Foresight just gave him opt 3, no amp power, because Kevin wasn't allowed to play his hand. And now it's just rinse and repeat. Am I seeing that card correctly in hand? I believe it is mind. Aspect of the mind body, I believe. The red aura that our local player Leo Vizina was playing in Prism and Pro Tour.
Essence of Ancestry Body.
Essence of Ancestry Body. I think
MST banger.
All right, there goes the first Venial Fine Spirit we were talking about earlier, destroying that Chromai to ensure that next turn Michel Corvino doesn't just get free action points, where Kevin will need to find a second Phantasm Popper.
A little bit greedy here, attacking with the Chromai first.
No, that is the correct play, because when you attack with Chromai, you gain an action point behind.
Oh, sorry, it's the other way around. It's Mirror Guy that you swing with the Ashwing first. No, wait.
No, you would still swing with Miragai first.
I'm mixing up some interactions.
And
here.
that is just a hard punish. He's playing Jack Be Quick for 7 go again.
Oof.
Nimblism and Jack Be Quick in the same hand, and that's a Billowing Mirage pitching the essence of Ancestry. Venial Fighting Spirits, gain 1. He had both Venial Fighting Spirits, but unfortunately Michel had 2 non-Phantasm attacks. That was brutal.
Yeah, kind of a slaughter from the Queen of Dragons of Flesh and Blood.
So yeah, Kano, you have to sometimes get out of the library. Dromai just said, here's a strategist attacking with a little army. What you gonna do if you're just a glass cannon casting fireball?
Yeah, not a great matchup for our poor Kano here.
And your last comments before we watch the next game?
Bring your poppers, ladies and gent.
More poppers than just 2? That's crazy. All right. Well, that's wrapped up. The players are basically packed. That game didn't even last 10 minutes, but it's fine. We're going to jump to the next one, guys. Next game, we have Azalea versus Briar. Have you an idea how this game works?
Well, Azalea is a little bit of a high rolly champion. The dominate turn 0 can be very brutal against other aggro decks, because basically this is an aggro versus aggro matchup. Azalea is presenting a lot of on-hits and disruption. So curious to see how this matchup goes. Both are very, very bad at blocking, so I think it's kind of a race to the hills for the damage, and see, not too sure who's favored here, actually.
The question becomes, can Azalea nonstop dominate and disrupt, or does Briar just draw the nuts? But I'm not sure. You're seeing how both of them don't block well. Briar is still a room lady. They can still play the Sigil of Suffering in sideboard.
True, and she also does get the embodiment of Earth when an attack hits, which I'm expecting to hit a lot this game.
Right. So let's see if Briar can out aggro, or if they have to grind it out, if they have those defensive tools, or Azza is going to be able to just dominate to the win. All right. So looking here, we have our defending national champion, Jordan Jalber Ross, on the right side, playing his famous Briar aggro player.
That's my goat.
Is he your goat?
He's a little washed now, but he's still my goat.
You guys don't look at his performance in Calling Montreal. It didn't happen. But that's the forever Canadian curse. The local players don't win their own event. It's always someone from another city.
Hey, he did better than me, so that's a low blow to me.
If you're thinking about your weekend, don't compare it to mine, right?
All right, Unflinching Foothold. So he does have the anti-tech for turn 0.
Right.
Smart choice.
That is the tech. That is the card that came out from Penn. Both sides were seeing cards from Penn, actually. We see the Bolt and Boots from Zachary's side. And on Jordan's side, we do have the new gloves. I forgot what they're called.
Yeah, Beckoning Haunt, which has Garwell 2, notably.
The lock is premium, but he's still on Beckoning for his helm, which is block 1 in this match, since Zachary doesn't have any weapon.
Yeah, both have the Blossom of Spring / Garland of Spring. So we're expecting a banger here.
Searing Shot for 8 dominate. The question I'm asking here, is Jordan gonna cash in his boots right away to survive some damage? 7 dominate. He is gonna cash it in right away.
Yeah, I think that is the correct play. You absolutely do not want to let Azalea leak damage on turn 0. You just get the big advantage of just going second and just having full tempo here. Very
that makes perfect sense. If you are playing Azalea, it's not like CC. Now people have access to Unflinching. I think 100% you should be going second, because if your opponent does block, they suddenly have less tools to swing at you. You want to be first aggressor, not leaking damage turn 0, hoping that you get dominate. So Jordan blocks 3 cards in his hand, just denying damage. Zachary, I don't know what he's thinking about over here. He's probably just going to arsenal a card, and that's going to be his turn. One of those cards, I forgot what it called, the block card from ICs that we saw in pitch. Look on the horizon.
On the horizon?
On the horizon was pitch, so he doesn't have access to on the horizon to block. Look at top deck and Azalea on his turn. So I'm wondering if he has.
Have a Bramble Spark.
That is a Bramble Spark in his hand. But just going back to Zachary real quick, he will either has a card to opt on his top deck, or he just planned to play his entire hand. That's Ravenous Rabble, revealing a Snatch.
All right, we're gaming.
We know a Snatch is coming next turn, so Zachary might just need to out aggro very quickly.
Yeah.
Taken for. All right, we are gaming. So this is a blazing fast format. If you haven't heard us say that like 20 times already. So
until it's not, it is a blazing fast format.
Do you think they will unban Sync Below and Freight Foreseen to slow down the game?
I would be very surprised if they do that. I think those cards are a little too powerful for Silver Age.
If they print a card that says Legendary, and is basically Sync Below, how would you feel about that?
Don't.
Please, please don't. Coming from the defensive player that played Enigma, that's insane. Well, we see Bramble Spark was played, and then Entwine Lightning played. None of them refused, so no go again, no extra buff damage. It's just Bramble Spark played for 1 arcane damage, and Entwine Lightning for 4 no go again. Embodiment of Earth.
Kind of an awkward hand on Jordan's side here. But we're setting him for next turn. He still leaked a lot of damage.
Very happy. Played 3 cards, dealt 9 damage. That's on rate. And there's Lightning Press and Snatch.
Ooh. If he has another non-attack in Arsenal, this is a very good hand. Curious to see what he has in Arsenal here. If doesn't have the go again, it is a slightly awkward hand, but we can probably manage.
We'll see what happens. Zachary hitting Read the Glide Path, revealing that it's a Bolton Shot on top of his deck. Knowing that there's a Bolton Shot on top of the deck, and Ravenous Rabble to reveal it to Jordan. So Jordan knows Zachary has an arrow on top deck that he could dominate if he wishes so. For go again, premium aggressive format.
Oh,
he's revealing Jappy quick.
Oh.
He was quickly flipping it back down.
No non-attack, but we do have go again. We will have go again from the Nimblism that he currently has in hand, which is
just a quick comment. Jordan said you didn't see that, and Zachary actually said, "Yeah, I didn't see it. I was looking at my hand." So remember, if you're gonna flip your cards, flip it down very fast. Be like the best player.
Yeah, that is some national winning sleight of hands.
Look, at least he didn't arsenal a card on his opponent's turn 0 this time.
That is true.
All right. So Jordan attempting to gain life instead, but now actually losing life. And let's see, Breaking Chain, Azalea, bottoming his arsenal, getting that Bolton Shot that was revealed off Ravenous.
Boom.
And how many buffs?
This says on hit, if it's greater than its base, you get to reload.
It's so go again on hit reload, dominate.
Go again on hit reload, yeah.
And dominate, go again. Jordan's reading Bolton Bracers for reasons.
Don't worry about it.
Like, okay, it has Balborn 1, and if it's hard in base, you could pay 1, destroy it, reload an arrow. That's no, sorry, it doesn't reload. It just gives go again. You'll have to break your bullseye bracers over here.
Right. Counting the value on hand, seeing if it's worth blocking.
He's vampire valuing, you mean?
Yeah. But as a Briar, the gameplay is check notes, send it. So I am not expecting any blocks here. Maybe a block 2, because the hand doesn't convert because you don't have go again for both Snatch.
So the question is, how much is it gonna block, and how much is it dealing? Because Zachary's at 11. You could just full send and Zachary will have to block something or else be
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah. So I'll block 2 from the snatch because you can't play both. That makes sense.
He has 2
Um,
snatch. That would make sense to block the snatch over here. But he's not cashing in on the value of the embodiment of Earth. That's very sad. Right, Jordan taking a quick little minute to block, and he's looks like he's gonna drop. He's teasing us a little bit if he's gonna block with that snatch after all. Come on, you can do it, Jordan. We believe in you.
block Jordan. Block.
At what point would I have to call slow play on him, right? Well, fortunately, this is not a casual, but competitive, and there was no. It's not as if you're playing on the Pro Tour level where you have a person. You have a
can't
game
blame
mechanic.
him though, right? You're asking an aggro player to block. That's asking a lot from him.
It's fine. They still have 23 minutes on the clock, and this game is not going to last that many turns. Reloading and an infecting shot. That's going to hurt.
Yeah. Now he might regret blocking here because he could have blocked this with the head and arms to save the 2 from the blood rot.
There was no way to know what was going to happen. That's one of the powers of Bolt and Shot. You just don't know what's the last card in your opponent's hand. But here, that is 5 on-head blood rot, effectively 1 card 7 off the Garland of Spring.
Yeah. Jordan probably thinking, I'm never blocking my life again.
If he doesn't block here, blood rot will bring him to 1. Since it's most likely a Cheerio list, he won't be able to pay for it. And being at 1 versus a dominate deck, not the situation you want to be.
Alternatively, he could maybe block with the Jack Be Quick and equipment. I believe the Jack Be Quick blocks 3.
Jack Be Quick does block for 3.
Yeah, so if you block 3 with Blackening Hot, you can go Snatch Lightning Press, which basically guarantees an arsenal here. Also, you also have Nimblism.
He has an arsenal,
you can go Nimblism, Snatch, and Lightning Press, and then just arsenal the card you draw.
Yeah. So here, I think he has Nimblism. I think Jordan's thinking, do I block with Nimblism or do I swing with Nimblism? In both cases, it's 3 values, courtesy of the embodiment of Earth over here.
True.
And he is blocking with the Nimblism. Even though he can't combo with Jack Be Quick right away, it's already in graveyard. You will still get the value.
Yeah, so now he will get the go again from Quick.
You will have to go again, 0 for go again, Lightning Press and Snatch, both together.
And this is why I don't play aggro, ladies and gentlemen.
What do you mean? I just want to play headjob.exe. It's so fun. That's
Starts out with the 4 go again.
The most headjob.exe deck I can think of is Phi, which didn't fare so well in this tournament, nor in the All-In Montreal, nor Showdown Montreal. So you guys can pick it up. The deck's not going to LL anytime soon from our prediction. Both blocking for 1. Jack Be Nimble. Sorry, this is Jack Be Nimble. Slightly different from Jack Be Quick. And
this one is still an item.
Steal an item instead of tapping an ally. Tapping an ally might be very useful soon, as we are getting Dromai being more maybe more represented now that Rake the Ember's unbanned. There is Snatch, and Jordan still has a Lightning Press in hand.
So this should ring some alarm bells for Azalea, because usually you don't really play Snatch with 1 card in hand, right?
You never do indeed. Well, that was a Lightning Press. Zachary cashed in his gear. Jordan draws a card. And that is the spot Jordan wants to be in. He's now comfortably in the lead. He has a few cards. I saw Second Strike, Arcanic Shockwave in hand. That is a Everlife, not Everlife. Oh my god, wrong card. Arcane Seed's Life, and I haven't seen the other card.
So that one, I believe, is when it's face up in your arsenal, you get to look at the top of your deck.
That would make perfect sense. Azalea used.
One of the limited cards from High Seas.
And there is Ridge Rider. Not.
One's up 2.
Ops 1.
Opt 1.
Op 1. It's a 0 for 4 at least.
Opt.
It's a 0 for 4, so
That is true.
Zachary will not need to spend another card from his hand to play it. He is going to play Read the Glide Path, looking at his top of his deck again. And then he had a second buff in hand. I believe was a Lace with Frailty?
Lace with Inertia, I believe.
Oh, it is a Lace with Inertia.
Yeah.
Here is 10 Dominate on hit Inertia. So Jordan doesn't have his boots nor his gloves left. Fortunately, he has access to the Embodiment of Earth, and he still has his Bladebender helm here. Arcane Seed's Life, blocking a total of 5, taking 5 with an Inertia.
What is an Inertia?
Inertia? It's a token that you get, which assassins and rangers have access to giving it to you. At the end of your turn, you have to bottom your hand and arsenal. Effectively, once you get hit by the card that gives you Inertia, you don't get to set up for next turn. You don't have an arsenal. Alright, Jordan starting off really strong. Bramble Spark fused, and then he's playing... what's that card called already?
Bramble Spark Flourish.
Flourish Yellow. Flourish Yellow, interestingly here, does work with Starfall, because it's the next time an attack would gain power. Starfall gains power by its own ability.
Arcanic Shockwave.
Arcanic Shockwave for 10 2 arcane damage, revealing second strike. So if Zachary takes any arcane damage or physical, that second strike will have go again.
4 go again.
That's 10 go again with 2 arcane damage. And then second strike go again, and he also has access to a Starfall. That is a very aggressive turn.
Yeah.
Zachary taking the 2 from the arcane damage. This is now 10 go again, staring at your face. He's committing his entire hand.
Ooh.
And he took 1. Second strike for 4. That was a very aggressive turn. No, Zachary did not survive that. Briar go again gaming.
Alright. Geraldine showing once again that face is the place.
And going face is always the solution, apparently, in this gaming format. All right, well, that was our game. Any other closing thoughts before we jump to our next one?
I am feeling pretty ready to watch next game. I will say this was a really strong showcase of our elemental Runeblade. Very powerful, very explosive, very good sequencing. Interesting decisions we had to make for the infecting shot.
Right. Jordan showed correctly. Yes, even though you're playing aggro, sometimes you need to slow down a little bit, think on how you block. And that was masterfully played. All right. Well, we showcased one of our top players. Next game, we're looking to showcase a different deck that we didn't see. KO versus Gravy Bones.
All right, KO kind of looking to be the boogeyman of the format right now after the BNR.
But that's pre-BNR, right?
Yeah, this is pre-BNR, which still was a pretty force to be reckoned with. His only realistic bad matchup in the meta was Briar, some niche Guardians or Valda. But other than that, KO had a pretty good matchup spread into the field and just trying to dodge Briar a little bit. But even then, it's not that bad of a matchup. Gravy Bones an unexpected pick here. Very strange position in Silver Age. I would say the deck is very reliant on how much gold you actually make and get to use. Other than that, the deck can feel slightly underwhelming sometimes when you don't have the resources.
Very fair. This to me seems very close to the CC game, just now in Silver Age. Gravy Bones in CC famously only has 3 tipples. Here, Gravy, you have access to all 6 tipples. And I'm guessing they're playing all the boats, the parrot cards. I'm wondering, is that going to be enough to pressure KO, or KO's classic commons and rares go against cards will be enough to clear Gravy Bones' board. So just before we head into it, guys, we just have to apologize. We lost the footage before the judge call. There was a judge call at this moment where our player on the left, William, drew the card off Savage Feast before breaking Beaten Trackers. Remember, Savage Feast is an additional cost where you discard. The moment you draw a card, you already pass Beaten Trackers trigger. You would have quote unquote declined it. So here, William having 2 cards in his hand, he's gonna IP1 this turn, giving some breathing room for Leo over here. He has 4 cards in hand, and he has a Rigor Mortis on board. That was not the situation you wanted to be as William, because definitely 2 resource floating. I was sure they wanted to clear that Rigor Mortis with Claw.
All right, looking at the board site right now. So on the Gravy side, we do have Rigor Mortis on board. We do not have gold, and both sides have full equipment. Some of William's equipment has been used to block, but Leo here presenting full powered gear. Interesting inclusion from Companion of Raid, the Trench of Watery something.
Trench of water or something. But yeah, it blocks, and you get to pitch a blue during your opponent turn. It lets you play an immovable for free.
Yeah, very, very strong inclusion to Silver Age. Yeah, basically you convert your chess and unmovable into a blockade for free, which is pretty strong.
Right. So we're just mentioning a card, and he's playing it right away. And he's pitching a Murderous Rabble back into his bottom of deck and playing a movable for 8 from Arsenal.
That is a banger.
Right. So that gives some breathing room back to Leo Vizina. He still has 4 cards in hand, courtesy of the Trench.
And a Rigor Mortis on board. This is looking to be an excellent.
Oh, that's going to be a brutal turn.
The Arsenal.
Rigor Mortis for go again. 6 go again.
Ooh.
William.
No go again, unfortunately. So we'll IP1.
Are you sure that's not go again? What's that card?
No, that's the Arsenal, which is on hit destroy Arsenal.
On hit destroy Arsenal. So he is pressuring William. If you do take 6, you're going to lose your Arsenal too. So it's as if you're taking 9. I think Leo Vizina is going to be happy over here because the play swing for 6 digs 2 cards from William's hand that he will still need to swing at face and then maybe claw at Rigor Mortis. That gives him still enough breathing room. All right, looks like he's caching his gear over here. He doesn't want to let Leo hit his Arsenal. Blocking for 7, Clash of Might. Remember, allies now do clash post rework, I was going to say. That's not the right word. We're not playing a visual game.
Rules reprise.
Rules reprise. You can clash with allies now. It also triggers traps.
So, okay, wins the clash against a golden tipple.
The funny thing with Gravy Bones is the allies also have attack powers. Compared to Dromai, those don't have attack powers.
Ooh.
All right, 2 mites in hand, Agile Windup in hand. Believe that's a Savage Feast, and I forgot what that.
Strongest survive.
I'm curious why the Agile Windup wasn't discarded on Leo's turn, so that he will have go again, swing at face, and then claw the ally.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Agile Windup discarded on his turn over here.
Setting up for next turn.
Making a new might and an agility. Swinging claw at Rigor Mortis.
Alright, giving go again to the claw. Okay.
And then he has 1 floating
is that
left.
Blue strongest survive.
Blue strongest survive. He will crack his chess piece. Go to 2, and he is swinging.
Howl from Beyond?
Howl from Beyond. It's just raw damage.
Okay, just a clean consistency piece. Had found a line to maximize damage and setting up for next turn with an agility and might.
And with the vigor, I'm a bit curious, but I guess the mites were wasted off Mandible Claw over here.
Yeah, under rigor mortis.
That is 6 damage going to Leo gladly taking that, going to 8, and he has full grip. That is a golden tipple we see in hand.
Yeah. Do we have an ally in hand so far? Not sure.
I
believe the card on the left might be an ally.
golden tipple, that was an ally.
Yeah.
Not Oisin. What's this one called already? Chowder?
Chowder.
Chowder discarded. Golden tipple yellow. 2 go again. 2 go again. Discard, make a gold, draw a card. The question we were asking earlier, how many golds can Leo make? Apparently, with 6 golden tipple, enough.
Alright, we'll still have to play a blue here if he wants to play his ally from grave.
And he drew a second golden tipple. Is that a back alley breakpoint? Or I'm not sure if I'm seeing it correctly.
I'm not sure. Leo thinking about activating Compass here, potentially cut the top, see what he gets.
That is a precarious situation. William over here, what are you searching for to win this game? Your chess piece is no longer there. What are you looking to do?
Well, I'm expecting to just go wide and swing big. Unfortunately, that card's not legal in Sage, but maybe a Bear Fangs.
Oh my god. Imagine you could have an agility, you go swing big, pop chess piece, swing big.
Banger.
That would be so much damage. It's borderline unfair, but no agility, no savage sash, no he does have an agility, but no swing big. Savage sash, agility, double swing big would be chef's kiss. All right, Leo is cracking the gold just to draw, not using Gravy's ability. That is loop for 6 go again.
Yeah, pitching loot to hold. So he did have the blue activator if you want to play Chowder. Decides to not do that. I'm assuming he might send a blue tipple as vanilla damage, but it is a blue engrave, maybe.
Well, the thing is, that is a Chowder. It's basically not a free play, but he still has, Leo still has access to 2 cards in hand, Golden Tipple, and then you can play Chowder after. That's a very good spot.
Yeah. Yeah, Chowder gets to swing for free, costs 3 to play, but he swings for free, and you can instant speed tap him to gain a life.
I'm pretty sure Leo over here does have and he mills his top decks in fabtcg for some reason. Golden Tipple, play Chowder.
Yeah, makes sense.
Play Chowder, swing Chowder. He needs to pitch, though, for Chowder? Oh, he's pitching Golden Tipple, and he arsenals the last card.
Chowder, aka we have Sawbones at home.
We have Sawbones at home. I think it's still played in CC, right, Chowder?
No, well, it in very niche gravy lists there are Chowder, but most of them we don't see it.
All right. Well, we see more boats, a slew, a big battalion, another Golden Tipple in Leo's hand. It's just non-stop gas. 40 cards, 6 Golden Tipples looks to be the answer in this meta. All right, that is 8 go again.
Go again. With 3 cards still, 2 in hand, 1 in arsenal.
So Leo over here has to block and survive and respect a little bit. Good thing Chowder costs nothing to swing. The question becomes, will William waste or spend 2 resources to claw onto Chowder? He still needs to find a way to discard a card to give it go again, though. Leo over here has to think on his block. He still has access to his gloves and boots.
Yeah.
He used...
Good look at the top. I didn't see what was on top, but...
It was not an ally, unfortunately.
Ooh, sad.
So that's not a good spot for Leo. If he wanted to block with his gloves, he'll need to mill an ally from top deck. Looks like the play is blocking 6. Blocks
staying healthy.
Staying healthy. You still have a Chowder on board that has to be cleared. Or else, if they swing a Chowder, you could still tap to gain 1 HP. Alright, there is that Savage Feast, discard as an additional cost, Breaking Beaten Tracker before the draw happens, and then 1 card was drawn. That is 6 with 1 action point in the back.
Right. Strong turn for our Brood player. See what Leo decides to do. He could block with all his hand and swing for through a chowder, which is still presenting lethal.
That is very true. The question is, what's the card in William's hand? Is it a yellow or a blue? We just need a yellow or a blue so that he can clear Chowder with the Mandible Claw. Or if it's a blue and his arsenal is lethal, he could... Yeah, if his arsenal does at least... Oh no, it's just a pass!
No, go again.
So he drew a red off Savage Feast. That was not the situation you wanted to be in. Chowder attacking for 3. William has to give at least 1 card or else he is dead. That is brutal. Bear Hog committed as a block. Pass back. Another Golden Tipple and a Rigor Mortis. I believe the first card is unmovable.
Unmovable slightly awkward here because you want to keep 3 cards potentially, but I don't think that's happening.
That is pulping for 6
Pulping.
dominate. So I think the unmovable was the perfect timing for Leo.
Yeah, great timing.
Oh, was pulping the card he drew off Savage Feast? That's very unfortunate. So that is 6 dominate go again right now.
Oh,
until it's blocked with 2 cards. 2 non-equipment cards.
True. Pulping, very powerful card.
Right, Leo's looking to cash in his gloves and his boots to not leak any damage. Oh, he's thinking about it, not playing it. Compass before blocks, seeing if he can mill the top deck for his gloves. Sorry, what's a gloves called already?
Washed up wave, I believe.
Your wash, Cubi. What?
Oh, who said that?
Who said that? I don't know. Yes, it was called the wash up wave. So when this defends, you may discard a card or destroy your top deck. If that card has watery graves, this gets +2. 0 blocks, but has Blade Break. He is discarding the Rigor Mortis from his hand, which was what he was searching to do regardless.
Ooh,
Wild Ride 5 go again. Draw discard. I'm not sure that is the correct play from William. He doesn't have any cards left. I would have rather killed that Chowder right here.
It's tough. I could see why. Like the Grave's pretty low here at 2 HP. Wants to play a little bit of pressure. Unfortunately has the immovable here, which is a great rebuttal to William's.
But Chowder's still on board. You don't have an arsenal. You're going to have to commit 1 card to block it. You don't get to swing at face and clear board your next turn, William. This is not the spot you want to be in. All right, Leo's thinking about his turn. He has 1 card in hand and a Chowder on board. He's maybe thinking about, is he going to play Rigor Mortis on board, or is he just going to swing the Chowder and IP1?
Depending on what Leo has in arsenal, is there a line he could maybe?
That was an Oyston.
Ooh,
He just
hardcast Oyston, gain a life.
Hardcast Oyston, gain a life off Chowder, and just pass turn. That is
full tempo.
That is getting worse and worse for William. He's now staring down at the Necromancer, building this very small board army. Slowly but surely, your armor's already caught off KO. What are you going to do now against these 2 pirate necromants allies?
So William has 2 options here. He can probably just try to pressure life totals until Leo runs out of cards, but that seems a little bit hard because now Leo gets to answer with a free Oyston swing every turn and gaining 1 life from Chowder. So William has to make a decision here on how many turns he's expecting this game to go on, and if he can leak enough damage that the life gain is not relevant.
Be relevant. That is the question, isn't it? Now, 4 cards in hand. He's taking his time to think. I'm guessing he doesn't have a go again in hand. He has. Well, no, sorry. He does have a Buckwild.
Yeah, does have the Buckwild. Yeah.
Wild Ride, I believe, was a card all the way on the left. Buckwild in hand. Pitching 2 cards to play Bear Fangs.
Bear Fangs, ooh, not what you want to see.
Oh, the cards in his hand did not have enough pitch value so that Buckwild would have go again. That is Bear Fangs for 7. That's right.
Yeah,
8.
I believe it's 9.
8 plus 1, courtesy of the might. Leo Vizine has to block at least 6 and use Chowder to gain back 1 more HP.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Leo goes to 1. This is a very
block
tight
6 goes to 1.
Alright, let's see what Leo's holding back.
Alright, let's see how much damage Leo can clap back on this turn. 2 cards in hand, Arsenal, Rigor Mortis in graveyard, and access.
Little boat? Yeah.
Big boat for
Battalion Bark.
Big boat for
9?
8. 8? No?
This one's for 8. I don't remember. I believe this one's for 9.
Oh,
unless
it's a blue, so
one. If it's a blue one's for
7.
7. No. Still pretty good. William does need to still give 2 cards.
At least 2 cards or he'll be dead. Is this the time to give your Knuckles? Okay, cashing in that last defensive value off his helmet.
Block 7, keeping 2 cards in hand. I'm assuming it's probably gonna have to go face since I would be very surprised if William gets good go against here.
Right. Let's see if he does have that go again to threaten face or threaten an ally at least.
It is 2 wild rides.
Pitching a wild ride? To a wild ride.
Discarding a wild ride?
Yeah, that's a very wild.
No,
that was not. Was that the backhand? That is backhand.
Yeah.
7, go again. Leo has to block 2 cards and tap Chowder, or else he would be dead. That is 2 golden tipples. Those block only for 2. So that is not the situation you want to be in as Leo Vizine.
Yeah.
He's committing 3 cards. That is going to be brutal. If Will is able to swing his claw, this should be game over here.
Leo could still give 1 card and gain a life with Chowder and then swing. So he's not completely out of the game, but this is not looking great.
This is not looking great indeed for Leo over here. If he needs to commit 3 cards and block from hand, there is a world where William just has lethal this turn.
Yeah, maybe the line is he needs to block 7 here and block 3 on the manable cost to gain the life. Which in that situation, maybe you actually clear the Chowder, but it's hard to see.
But those parrot cards only block for 2 in his hand. I believe one of them is a sloop. I just need Leo to fan out his hand a little bit better. Unfortunately, this was our first test. We didn't have player cam and player hand cam nor player face cams. But that would be a nice addition in the future, I believe. That's looking to be double golden tipple plus a block 3. I don't know what that card's called, actually.
I think is that Loot the Arsenal again?
I think it's Loot the Arsenal. It's not a card I see a lot in Classic Constructed.
Yeah, not very played in CC, but one of the rare Arsenal disruptions that we have access to in Silver Age.
Right, that
goes for the Arsenal. That is true. The wild ride in hand is a red one, so he is missing 1 resource.
He was missing 1 resource again and again, unable to clear those Chowders.
Outside exchange, hard cast Rigor Mortis for 6. Oh no, I mean cast from graveyard.
Yeah, Rigor Mortis, portside exchange, pitching a Barnacle. This is not the spot William wanted to be in. Now he has to commit 2 cards to block Rigor Mortis, or else he would be dead.
That is...
He is slowly but surely getting clawed into the graveyard, and Leo now has access to a Chowder and a Noiston on board. Tap 1 to gain 1 HP. Leo slowly clawing himself back up. Alright, what's the play, Will? How do you get out of here?
Will on the back front here. Still has a wild ride in Arsenal. Probably try to get go again and enough resource to manable cost.
That is Wild Ride. Targeting face, I suppose.
Alright, 2.
Smash Instinct discarded. 1 resource floating. 7, go again. Leo can now block 2 cards, survive at 1. Compass cashed in. Looking what the top deck is. I believe that's Jittery Bones. I couldn't see the card under, but those block for 3 at least. That's the spot Leo wants to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, Leo in a pretty good spot here. It's block 6, go to 1. Still has Chowder.
Claw into Rigor Mortis. There's no choice. And Leo still gets to keep Oyston and Chowder. Right, Rigor Mortis goes back to the grave. This time in the coffin because you can't cast him anymore. He's now face down. 4 cards in hand for William. No arsenal against Leo's double allies board. Flying kick.
Flying high.
Flying high. Giving go again. +1 to his next attack. Oyston for 4 go again.
That's very good. 3 into 3.
Oh, sorry, it's 3. It only gives +1 to the blue one, I believe. This is a flying high blue.
Yes.
There's no dice, so we can't confirm if it was blue or red or yellow, but I'm pretty sure it's a blue. So block 3.
Yeah.
They didn't update any damage, so I'm guessing it was 3 go again. And Chowder for another 3.
So yeah. Well, keeping a Loot the Hold makes sense. Not expecting this Loot the Hold to hit. Loot the Hold on hit, discard a card. Setting it up for potentially a future turn.
That makes sense. Ensuring that you have a blue in arsenal so that next turn you can play it, triggering all your triggering gravy so that you could play your allies from graveyard. William not in the spot he wants to be in. He has to commit another card of block. Clash of Agility over here. Clash of Buckwild versus Murderous Rabble. William will get an agility for the next turn. But this is not the spot you want to be in. Your Clash of Agility will have an agi that you don't get to gain value out of. Alright, is the play going to be clear an ally or attack at face, you think here?
It has to be face, right? Surely.
And just have to hope that Leo doesn't block. Strongest survive, go again with the might.
Is this a red one?
It's a blue one.
It's a blue one. 6 go again, no resource folding. Not I don't think that's enough pressure, unfortunately.
Very unfortunately, not enough pressure. Leo can cover it easily with 2 cards, and in case he still has access to Chowder to heal 1.
Leo drawing Murderous Rebel, very brutal. We saw it. We've seen it from the Clash, but potentially 3 go again into 3 gain a life arsenal or Swiftwater Sloop is a very scary prospect for a brute player here.
I think the play would be to just try and strip Will's entire hand.
Yes.
Murderous Rabble for 3 go again? Question mark.
3 question mark.
Deck was taken away. Yep.
It is a blue portside exchange.
Portside exchange was played.
So 3 go again into 3, gaining a life. This is a 7 value turn cycle. Which is
Leo just says, hey, my top deck is already revealed for your Clash. So Clash happens. That was timed around for the players, but I'm pretty sure we did not update the timer for the players over here since they did have a judge call earlier.
Yeah, they did have a I don't know how many minutes, but
how many minutes for that judge extension? I don't know. We'll wait for the people that were handling the coverage over here to update it later. But for now, we're just watching our players have fun and attack at each other. Oyston swing for another 3, stripping another card from. Oyston swing for 3, and Chowder tap to gain 1 resource.
That is Howl something? Howl.
You can search up the card.
The cards look the same.
All the brute cards look the same. It is High Pitch Howl. When this attack,
High Pitch Howl.
There's a card with 6 or more power in your pitch zone, create a vigor. So Will is creating a vigor for next turn.
Ooh, it's coming in for 6.
Leo has to commit 2 cards
Pretty
again.
happy here.
And hopefully for Will, this would be enough cards. Next turn, he just has a go again card so that he can swing his claw. But at this point, I don't think there's too many wild rides remaining.
Yeah, running out of steam here on William's side.
Oh, we see someone's shadow. I think that's the judge coming over.
Yeah.
All right. A lot of waving hands. The players have not played anything. We'll see what's happening over here.
So Leo has 2 golden tipples, 1 loot to hold, I believe. And was it the port side exchange? I'm not quite sure if I seen it correctly.
Right. Well, that's.
Oh, both of them. Yeah.
That's looks like Williams talking to the judge over here. I think an extension will be provided in this game. So it's our first time the players are playing maybe on camera, and it's not that professional level. So some leeway to learn with the tournament organizers on how the timing works with the event compared to the other players. So now 5 minutes, but I had the clock. All right, I think we get to finish this game out in a clear fashion. I saw earlier Leo was counting the number of cards left in his deck. He might not have enough gas. Will might just have an out of blocking his way out. Buckwild has to block, and then Big Boat for.
Oh, stripping away 2 cards from William.
Has to strip, and he has 2 cards left in his deck after. All right, this is not maybe the spot anymore. Will has 2 cards left in his deck, and Leo has 3 cards left in his deck.
Yeah.
And fist bump extended. He only has 1 card left in hand.
Quite the heroic comeback from Leo here. Chowder bringing in a lot of value to William. Should have killed it earlier, but it's so hard to tell in those spots. Leo was quite low enough. I think William thought he had enough pressure to maybe extend lethal here. Unfortunately, did not quite get there.
To me, this game, both players looking like they were learning this deck. It is a good format to learn since it's not as if you're trying to qualify for nationals. This was a ProQuest, and you're playing Silver Age. I think they were both using this as practice for the Showdown or Calling Montreal. So, very fun game that happened over here. Any other closing thoughts? Oh wait, they're still playing this? I thought the fist bump was extended. Maybe he said, yeah, show me.
Yeah, maybe it was like, yo, sick play, dude, and then like just pass.
Barnacle go again. Another fist bump extended. Oh. All right. Well, they didn't update the life totals to 0, but this time they're actually packing. So, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he realized he wasn't completely out of it yet, but it is hard from that spot.
Right. Well, that was a heartbreaking defeat for William over here. Remember, beaten trackers on response to the discard of Savage Feast. Once you draw the card, it is too late. Other than that, we have our 4-0 players in the next game. We have 4-0 on Briar.
Riptide versus Briar.
Yeah, Briar, we were expecting a Briar to be the top seed, but Riptide?
This is an interesting one. I'm assuming Riptide has a pretty good matchup to Briar because his traps trigger off of basically everything.
And it's basically block 3, deal 1. Briar doesn't have enough 0 for 4s. So your traps blocking for 3, pinging for 1, effectively is always 4 value. And the fun thing to keep in mind, Riptide does play Cheerio as well. So your arrows 0 for 4 searing shot on hit lose a life, effectively 0 for 5. And Riptide and Pan got those new traps that are actually buffs as well. They are no longer defense reactions, but having the duality of either being block 3 deal 1 or buff your arrow by 3 is an amazing quality of life buff.
Yeah.
All right, we're jumping into this game. One of these 2 players, not strangers to our local meta whatsoever.
That's a funny looking Blossom of Spring. Care to elaborate?
I didn't see that question in the judge Discord. I totally didn't answer that question myself. But yes, for those that don't know, the Pop Collar Polo we see there is a promo card given to judges. it is not legal in Silver Age as of yet. There is a little debate by judges saying, oh my god, this card is effectively the same thing as Garland of Spring or Blossom of Spring. Can we just accept it? But the official ruling technically is that the head judge cannot allow this as a proxy. But no worries. Oscar, the OG over here, has enough swag to convince the judge to allow him to play it. Razor Reflex being blocked over here. That is an interesting, spicy card. And the first Lightning Press cash in.
And no trap. Banger of a turn 0 here in the Silver Age ProQuest.
And Norris gets to arsenal a card on his opponent's turn 0.
And puts a -1 counter on the Blade Beckoner.
That is
effectively putting it offline since Riptide does not have a weapon.
Oscar only has one more block left on his gear. I think Norris is very happy. Even if Oscar does attack, it would not be that much. All right, we've Lightning Pitch to swing a Starfall. And that was a second trap from his arsenal. Another ping from the go again.
Starfall actually pretty vulnerable to
that was a pitfall trap. Riptide. Oscar deciding to pitch away his Sigil of Suffering because he doesn't want to take an extra 2 damage. Norris starting off the game dealing 2 damage to Oscar and removing 1 HP is an insane start.
4 card -2, not where you want to be on turn 0.
All right, now he gets to Powdered Shot for 5. And we saw that Norris was playing Razor Reflex before. He can't break his boots over here right now. That is not the situation you want to see if you're Oscar. And he is playing the Razor Reflex.
Razor Reflex.
He blocked the Razor Reflex, played a Razor Reflex. That is insane amount of high rolling from my perspective. Oscar just taking the 8. Norris, oh, he reloads, but just passes his turn. He didn't have a way to reload a second card. Oh, wait, he did reload off Razor Reflex, but I guess he didn't have any attacks left.
Norris, known off-meta brewer from Montreal, also just recently got a top 4 finish at Calling Montreal.
He top 18 with this. So Norris top 4 Calling Montreal, and there was a Riptide that was 17th or 18th in Calling Montreal.
Oh, sorry, yes, I meant Ira. yeah.
He was playing Ira.
But he is known for his janky brews locally.
Oh, he is the janky brew. Well, if you guys didn't see it, I did post earlier his legendary gold foil opening in my shorts. Go take a quick peek at that. Give him a like. Show some support for our boy Norris. That is so rude. Oscar doesn't even get to set up an arsenal now. He has an inertia trap. Norris extremely healthy. Oscar being basically dead at this point. Dead man standing. 3 with 1 arcane. Norris takes the 1 arcane, and does he block it? Blocking with the boulder trap. No more boulder traps at least. But no arsenal from Oscar. 4 card hand versus Norris's full hand. Garland of Spring's going to be cashed in for that Death Dealer. Just drawing 1 free card, Searing Shot, draws a card. Is there 2 buffs in hand? Lace Frailty, Lace with Inertia. Here is 10 on hit, lose an extra.
That's Spellbane Trap.
Oh, that's a Spellbane. Sorry, my bad. But yes, it is also just a buff. Those new cards are just insane value because they have offensive and offensive value.
Yeah, very interesting Riptide list. I'm expecting. I mean, there's always a little wave of Riptide showing up in CC and other formats when a new set comes out, because there's always a new Riptide card in each set.
Famously, Super Slam had Take the Bait. I'm pure disappointed. But Spellbane Trap, that's exactly what I'm looking for. It just says amp 3. Your next arrow gets +3. Go again. Non-attack action card, and it is a trap, so it will trigger Riptide on defense. When this defends and the attacking hero has dealt arcane damage this turn, create a Spellbane Aegis. That is a perfect hack for Ocilio and Briar. Well, Ocilio in CC, And Briar,
Iron's-
oh my god, Verdance as well. If you go Heartbeat of Candlehold into an attack, Spellbane Trap will help you there. But geez, this is looking brutal for Oscar over here. 10 on hit, lose a life. On hit, you're frail. What else could happen over here?
Yeah, this is coming in for 10 on hit +1.
Yeah, Searing Shot is one of those premium cards that, even though it's a common, it's still played to this day.
Yeah, Briar being on blocking duty here is not quite what you want to see as Briar. Also, we do have to mention this completely blinged out Briar deck.
Is the bracers bling? They look pretty flat to me.
The Briar Marvel and alleged Marvel Rosetta Thorn sitting in the
yeah, Rosetta Thorn's banned in every format.
Ban Purgatory somewhere, unfortunately.
I think there was something wrong with Tales of Aria. Dustblade being banned before the set even released, and Rosetta Thorn being banned Purgatory.
Having 2 elements might be a little too strong, except for Jarl.
But in Living Legends, though, Briar is overshadowed by Visride and Chain. I would even say Aurora would be a better deck than Briar in Living Legends.
That is true, but I think it's the Warmongers unban that we really hurt Briar there, and the Rosetta Thorns ban of.
Briar losing their signature. Oh my god, they just gave their entire hand, Oscar. It's not the spot you want to be in, huh?
I would not be happy with that.
I don't think you'd be happy. Oscar's probably just looking to arsenal this card because he doesn't have a hand. But yes, Rosetta Thorn in banned Purgatory because of the sins of every other Runeblades. Alright, what is Briar going to do on this turn? Arsenal looks to be the play. 10 to 15. How can Oscar get out of this? Drill Shot for 7. Still 3 cards in hand, so Norris can still break his boots and reload off Death Dealer. This is not looking so hot for Oscar over here.
Yeah, Norris pretty gaming here with his hands. The onslaught of disruption and then the onslaught of defensive disruption with the traps is felt pretty rough for Briar here.
So that's exactly what Riptide wants to be against an aggressive meta that has either tall or wide, so that every single trap's trigger. The bad decks for Riptide would be like Viscera, for example, where you can't deal with the rune chance, or if you're playing against a wizard because, well, your cards don't pitch, they're all red or yellow. You just take too much arcane damage. The other deck I think that would be very good into Riptide would be if you're playing Oldhim for Fatigue version, since you can always pitch to Oldhim Earth Defense Reaction to gain back, to prevent 2 and keep an extra card in your deck. Now here, exactly what we said earlier, Bolt Crack to give go again. Osters gets another minus on his Bladebecker helm for some reason. Death Dealer cashed in with the last resource. Loading another Drill Shot, drawing hopefully 2 buffs. Drill Shot swung alone, 1 card left, or 2 cards left? 1 card left for Norris in hand.
4. Oscar will have to give another card here to stay alive.
And he will get another -1 counter. Not like it matters anymore.
Unfortunately, both of these equipment, well, the legs block for 1, but the Bladebecker and helm block for 0 value this game.
The boots won't even block anymore. There's no weapon from Norris's side.
Yeah, there's no weapon. There's only 1 value, unfortunately.
I mean, you're allowed to throw the Bladebeckers back onto the chain. They'll have Guardwell -0.
Yeah, that is true.
Just flexing on your opponent at that point. Well, that is a very weird getup that we have from Oscar's side. No blocking gears except Bladebeckers. Not sure if that he's being punished. That is a weird Cracking Bauble blocking there. I wish I could have read it. What could be proxied in Silver Age?
some random foil, I'm assuming.
All right. The James White Guns Polo was cracked. Burn Up Shock played before the Polo. Very interesting. Scar for 4. Go again on hit 4 extra arcane damage.
So we'll have to masterfully dodge traps here. Norris reshuffling his hand, potentially drawing in more traps to maybe ping.
Is he looking to just draw a bunch of traps to kill Oscar off the swing?
Probably a carpet trap, maybe, to prevent the on-hits.
That would make a lot of sense. We saw a Tarpet trap pitch last turn to give the go against. Here's trap 1, 2, 1 and 2. And here is Frailty Trap in hand. Here is pick 3.
3 damage.
That shuffle merch. Hope Merchant.
That is a Norris classic line there.
There was also a Frailty Trap in his hand. He could have dealt 4 damage on defense. Oh my, that's just rude. Well, we know who our 5-0 is. And Oscar is now seat 2 at 4-0. Is there any other closing thoughts before you want to take a look at who our top 8 was?
I am ready to reveal the top 8 here.
Let's reveal the top 8. All right. Surprise, surprise. Our first seat, Norris playing into Kai. Kai on Enigma. I think that's a one matchup, or there's 2 people in the top 8 that Norris really wanted to dodge.
Yeah, Enigma is one of them.
Then Oscar's playing into Zachary over there. We saw the Briar Azalea earlier. We'll see this time if Zachary would be able to clinch it into Oscar, or is it because Jordan was built different that he won? The next matchup, the 4th and 5th seed, we have you versus Shahan.
Huh, that is a familiar name.
I don't know. I didn't see that name before. And the last matchup over there, Jordan versus Dahlia. There was a fun comment about that game. Unfortunately, it was not the matchup that we decided to cover, but, it's fine. All right, let's jump on to our quarter matchup. I think you know who this is.
Nah, not familiar with this Cubi guy.
Never saw this guy before, huh? So yeah, indeed. Remember, now this is top 8. It's an untimed round. The top seed was Shahan. And you recall who opted to go first and second?
If I remember correctly, Shahan opted to go first, which makes a lot of sense against Enigma.
Why would you want to go first against Enigma?
To prevent Enigma from setting a board. I mean, Enigma can still set a board at instant speed, but it is quite easier to clear if Enigma tries to do it on turn 0.
If Enigma commits a hand to make a board, you can punish by attacking, leaking some damage, and clearing the board.
Yeah. Unfortunately, if I remember correctly, this is a slightly awkward turn 0 hand for Enigma.
All right, this was a very good turn 1. You're getting your spectral manifestations.
Never mind, that is a banger of a turn 1. I am lying through my teeth.
Look at this guy lie, telling. But at least the nice part is you don't have your reality refractor. That would have been an 8. Would have been insane value. I remember you bullying everyone in Commoner back then.
I will not answer without the presence of my attorney. I did nothing wrong.
We do not negotiate with terrorists, indeed. So looking over here, Beaten Tractor, Chest, and the Astral Etching. Okay, you're just being rude at this point.
Alright, I'm lying. This hand's a banger. I forgot how good this hand was.
You have the rights to remain silent. So you still have 1 card in hand. You leak 4 damage. He cashed in some gear already, and you have a big shield on board. What else can you ask for at this point?
Yeah, banger of a hand. Nothing to say. I was right.
You pleading the fifth. All right, that's 2 unmovables in your hand. Even if it's pretty tall, you should be able to block it. I'm not sure Shahan not playing anything on his turn 0 was the correct play because he happens to not have a might. Fun note over here. Unfortunately, Talshar Fabric plugin doesn't allow me to flip Wild Ride. If you see me trying to flip it, and hoping that it refreshed. It still didn't work.
So Wild Ride come in for 6 go again.
Were those unmovable reds or blue?
These are 2 unmovable reds, but I do not believe I have 2 blues in hand right now.
Well, that is not the situation you want to be in then. So in that spot,
Maybe just 1 blue?
if you only have 1 blue, you'll look to pitch one of the unmovables so that your unyielding could be used to block.
Potentially. Yeah, overpitching the unmovable there. Makes sense.
All right. Well, I'll call that right at least. Thank you for confirming the cards in your hand that just let me predict your play.
So basically what's happening right now is this Enigma player, this filthy Enigma player, has a Mirror Guy baby Mirror Guy on board. And the goal is to swing with baby Mirror Guy at all costs.
I like how you called yourself a filthy Enigma player. You know what you are yourself. That's kind of funny.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Well, the allegations are really strong. You have 1 card left in hand. That is Beaten Tracker Cracked. So he will have an extra action point after this. So if you're giving your hand and your unyielding grip here, there is still maybe an extra attack after that will clear your board. So here, sometimes you just have to cut your losses short. If you're playing Enigma, just assume that your board's going to die.
Yeah.
Oh, Moon Chakra played.
Try to block 6. Hoping I can still protect this board.
Blocking 3 happens. Prevent 3, block 3 happens. Shahan cracking his chess piece for an extra resource. Pitching a Cracking Bubble. Or I don't even know what that thing's called.
I have no idea.
I want to call it Bear Hug, but it's the wrong card.
No, it's something.
All right, I'll let my caster on the side here flip the card. Rough Up. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tech.
6, yeah. Unfortunately, I have to lose my baby Mirror Guy, which means I'm pretty.
I think that baby Mirror Guy is technically superior to a real Mirror Guy. Because in Classic Constructed, the person with Astral Etching Spectral Shield would win against Mirror Guy, since Mirror Guy does require Tunic. At some point, being allowed to block with 3 cards, swinging for 0 cards, you will outvalue the player that needs to keep pitching 1 for Mirror Guy. In the Enigma mirror, at least.
Yeah. Fortunately, this is just a pass go for Enigma.
Right. No cards in hand, 1 in arsenal. Pass go. Not the situation you wanted to be in. All right. That is Assault and Battery, beating chess just to get the agility and the might for next turn. Blocking 3. Walk me through the play while you're blocking with the essence over here.
I think in this matchup, Enigma kind of needs to play a little bit of more of a mid-rangey role here. And so you need to trade back against KO. You can't really be playing the fatigue plan that we usually have. Essence of Energy Body is just because of the cards we have in sideboard, kind of one of the efficient ways that we have that can play off 1 card, but a lot of time is just going to end up being a block card.
That makes sense. Well, very unfortunate that you couldn't play it over here, because if you did, that would block 2 and potentially prevent a second big red attack. Agility is available, might popped as well. Let's see how much damage Shahan can send back over here. Bare Fangs go again is the play.
Yeah, another thing about Essence of Ash's body is that the essence trigger only happens after it gets destroyed. So usually brutes can play around it by sending the red attack first, destroying it, and then mendable. So usually the brute will usually play around that.
That looks very fair. And Brutes is one of these, well, not Brutes, KO is one of these decks that you're actually playing yellow copies of some cards. So you can't just, as Enigma, you can't just expect for it to pop and prevent the next attack. Compared to, let's say, a Briar or Aura, where you're assured every attack is going to be red.
Yeah, so Enigma blocked with Test of String, loses the clash. Unfortunately, I have to give Shahan a gold token here.
which is very funny because it's rare that as a KO you have access to a gold. Let's see what the play is here. Pack Hunt, 6 Intimidate 1. So you at least 3 damage will be leaked.
Quite rude, if you ask me.
The one-armed brute, I was gonna say screeching, yelling at you, intimidating you. A bit rude, isn't it?
Bullying me.
Bullying you. Oh, that's not so bad. You still had to play a Waxing Spectre. I like how you kept saying as if you're in a bad spot, and then this was the play you wanted to do after all. Waxing Spectre for 4, go again. And it will be ward 3. You're almost assured to have the full 3 value against KO. As the clock comes for 3, and everything else.
This is a Raging Onslaught with extra steps.
Raging Onslaughts and where?
With extra steps.
With extra steps. That's one way of describing it. But Raging Onslaught doesn't stick around and give you value. This here, if Shahan's not able to non-stop pressure you and you get to keep 1 card in hand and swing that Waxing Spectre, you would already outvalue Raging Onslaught.
I believe Shahan decides to take 4 here. Yeah.
Take 4, but he still has access to Blade Beckoner blocking for 2 and his Knucklehead blocking for 2 into 1. Compared to your Blade Beckoner chest and your Unflinching, you still have 3 blocks left. That is double blocks consumed onto a Wild over here. Is that Agile Windup? It's written Agile Windup signed.
Yeah. Actually tie on this clash, which is a kind of a rare occurrence for Enigma. Kind of.
Alright. While the clash happens, he knows exactly what's on top of his deck. He has Clash of Agility in his hand and another card that is another proxy. So wondering how Shahan goes over to pressure you enough, since there was no 6 discarded for Mandible Claws go again. Right, maybe cashing in the gold is a play. Shahan's taking his time to think over here.
Yeah, starting a turn with 8 go again and still having 2 card in hand feels a little illegal, but it is what it is.
It feels like a swing big go again, right?
Yeah, kind of pretty strong.
Alright, Clash, Yellow Clash going towards the pitch zone. What is happening over here? Right, the suspense is killing me. Let's see what's happening. What would be your out here? What are you hoping for your best situation, Cubi?
I'm just praying. I'm just saying, please don't bully me. Please let me use my board. Please don't attack me.
And he's giving you that beautiful Sigma Enigma back, cashing in that gold, drawing a crack bubble.
I believe it was the Agile Windup.
It was Agile Windup blue.
Yeah.
Agile Windup, floating 1. Wild Ride, draw this card. That is Wild Ride
a gamer.
Yellow for 5.
Yeah, at this point, I'm like, man, my Waxing Spectre dies this turn. Unlucky.
At least you get full value of the Waxing Spectre. 4 offensively, 3 defensively.
Yeah, but Enigma cards aren't meant to be on raid, right? They're meant to be way above.
You want to keep your board around, stick it for extra value. But it doesn't always happen that way, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right. So here you're blocking, hoping that Shahan only swings his claw at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what here, you're preventing 3, blocking 2, hoping that Shahan just swings for 3. That you could block and keep alive.
Oh, and then he arsenals a card here.
Looking to arsenal, he still has his gear. You're probably just, and there it is, you're just waiting for him to draw pitching, the waning vengeance.
Boom.
4, go again.
Bread and butter. 1 card 4.
That's a beautiful side waxing spectre you have over there. All right, Shahan's gonna give his gear. Probably looking to roll his knuckles next turn.
I believe that action does not have go again.
Yeah, but he could do his entire turn and just knuckle at the end for fun. The fun note is in this game here, we heard them yell that the other KO in top 8 rolled a 6 on knuckles versus Jordan over there.
Yeah, seemed like the banger of a game.
Would have loved to feature them, have them mic'd up too, because those two were bantering a lot apparently.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're stuck here watching me getting my face kicked in against KO.
Are you sure that Waxing Spectre stayed for 2 turns? I don't think you're being the one kicked into the face right now.
Yeah, close enough.
Close enough, you say. 7, go again, letting your Waxing Spectre die, taking 4. Shahan still has full grip. You have an Astral Etching, I see, and I can't see the rest, unfortunately.
I am breeding greedy again.
Remember, playing safe doesn't win you. Greed, kids.
And in bad matchups, I will agree with that.
So when you're playing brutes and classic constructed, always roll scabskins, right?
I will only answer in the presence of an attorney.
A terrorist next to me, apparently. All right. So Blade Beckner finally used for the first time Block and Claw. And let's read this card. I can't read it. Pulping. It's red pulping.
Pulping. Anti-Domi boots.
You remove the Dominate.
I lose 1 value because I forgot to block with Unflinching Foothold. Unlucky.
Mark of a not good player.
True.
You could have blocked it on the Mandible Claw. Here is a Waxing Spectre for 4 again. Hey, the other one just died and this one's back.
He's back for revenge.
Oh no, that's Waning Vengeance. This is Waxing Spectre. It's a Spectre, not Vengeance. All right, so there's that Clash Unexpected backhand in the... Sean just takes it. We didn't even get to comment over what his hand was, nor was it fanned out.
Doesn't matter. Just kill, smash.
Buck Wild, go again, pitching Unexpected backhand. That's a 7 go again. Oh, that's a yellow Buck Wild then.
Brothers in Arm. Fun card.
Brothers in Arm, unfortunately, you have to pitch. At least it was a chi, but that's not the spot you want to be in. You only have 1 card left to block over here. Intimidate the last card in your hand, and that's 6 fist bump extended. Very unfortunate for...
So rude.
Rude indeed. Well, that was the game. Any other commentary for your fans to listen before we jump to the next game?
Follow my Metafy.
Yes, pay him for his guide. Is your guide?
I don't have any guides. I just have tournament reports for now.
No? Oh, well, the day that you release some guides, I think some people will be willing to pay some little money for it.
Pending.
TM. All right, let's see who won their games. Who is our top 4? Kai apparently bullied Norris over here. Norris conceded at some point since he dealt 0 damage and Kai had it full board. You versus Shahan, we saw that game. Oscar was not able to clinch the win against Zachary. Jordan just high-rolled Dahlia, apparently. We're getting a rematch of Zachary versus Jordan. Let's see if Zachary is going to be able to... I don't know. Is he going to be able to line up way better this time? Or is Jordan going to be his on brand and just be amazingly lucky? How do you think this game's going to go this time?
I am expecting to see some 4 go again, 4 go again, 4 go again, and some pump arrow on hit something. Just like last game, I am expecting a lot of damage and a lot of aggressive turns here, and then I still think might be better on the Briar side, but I'm curious to see how this game goes.
Well, he just beat one Briar. Let's see if he can beat our defending national champion on Briar as well. Ridge Rider shot, showed on the top. I have no idea what's top deck left. Second buff, 10 dominate on hit inertia. Is Jordan going to cash in his boots again right away?
Surely, right?
Cash in your boots, block for 10. Looks to be a very good. There it is.
There it is.
So Jordan being the first player, being the higher seed, opting to be first, forcing Zachary to go. Going second, forcing Zachary to go first. Jordan would be the first person to actually attack this game. All right, entire hand's committed his block with the blade backers so that he covers 10 exactly.
This will be the only time we see Jordan blocking a full hand on camera ever again.
Maybe not. If we hit some limited formats at nationals, you might see him play it. Oh, remembering that day is Guardwell and not Blade Break, but effectively never going to be able to block with it again. Right, that is a Nimbleism and a Jabby Quick in hand.
Nimbleism, Jabby Quick, he's too good at the game.
Judge, we have to start shuffling his deck. I think he's stacking. He's weaving his deck.
He's too good at the game. That's crazy.
Nimbleism, he said out loud. Man, we were behind the camera listening to this guy. Sometimes I just wish I decided to hook a microphone here. We can hear him, all the weird banter he does. You guys watch him at nationals? How much he was talking?
He is a known yapper, that's for sure.
Yappering Yap, attack for 4 non-fused. Let's see what Zachary does over here. Just takes to 4. And bottom of Earth created, Jordan might be ready to block a little bit of Zachary's attack. All right, let's see what Zachary does this turn. He has 2 cards left in hand and an arsenal. How much pressure is going to be able to do? Just sending a sleep dart.
Quite a relevant on-hit for Briar here. If this hits, Jordan will not be able to make Embodiment of Earths or Embodiment of Lightnings off of his hero build.
The quick fun note, Jordan was almost going to pick up the card here, and Zachary responded exactly what it does with what you said. And the response made me crack. But I like my hero ability, Jordan said. We love this guy too much. I'm sorry. All right. 0 for 5. 1 for 5. Zachary's looking to arsenal the last card in his hand. How is Jordan getting out of here is the question. Does his hand entirely convert without the need of Embodiment of Lightning? Or will he block? All right. Some fingers are being pointed. Some math is being done. Let's see the master player create his next turn.
So far we see a Snatch, I believe a Sizzle? Not quite sure about the cards in the middle. Alright, Jordan thinking about whether he needs to make Embodiment of Lightning next turn or if he can just...
Full send it is, apparently.
Take this 5. Sapor.
This is gonna be damage. So his entire hand allegedly converts. We're going to see how much damage is going to slap over here. That's going to be a Sizzle in hand. We're going to see 2 snatches. So Sizzle played. Sword. Pitching a snatch, right? Yeah. And that is lightning surge. So pitching a snatch, sword for 5. I guess Jordan was thinking if you wanted to block with a snatch. Thank you, Zachary, for putting the dice. Much appreciated. Such a good sportsman.
On the Horizon. Good card.
So now Zachary knows exactly what is on top deck if he wants to go for Azalea next turn. That is the move. Jordan revealing Lightning Surge over here to his Entwine Lightning, so it's 4 go again.
4 go again.
Zachary taking the 4. Very fair. All right. So indeed, Jordan didn't even need his hero ability this turn. Maybe he wanted the embodiment of Earth. But
Nah.
blockings is for chums, apparently. So he has Lightning Surge left that he revealed to Entwine Lightning and a Snatch. Is Jordan gonna swing the Snatch or he is swinging the Snatch?
Yeah.
So Zachary knows it's a Snatch and there is a Lightning Surge that's gonna be thrown in the arsenal. I think the gameplay over here is just let the Snatch hit. Jordan's gonna draw an extra card that doesn't do. Oh, Infecting Shot and Blade back in her helm was committed to the block.
Huh. Yeah.
Not what I would have went with, but let him cook because going down to 7 versus Jordan's 15 might not be the play as well. All right, Zachary, show us the play. Lace with Inertia, Frailty, Lace with Blood Rot, Sleep Dart for
again.
or 11. On hit, Frailty, on hit, Blood Rot, on hit, no hero ability. All right, it's not dominated, so if Jordan wants to commit his entire hand, he can still do it.
Yeah, he still also has the arms with Guardwell too, which is a pretty good padding here.
That is a lot of padding indeed. So Jordan looking to be in a healthy, very comfortable position. This doesn't kill you yet. You might just send out your entire hand and one-shot Zachary back in response. Let's see how this pans out.
Jordan evaluating the options he has in hand.
Hovering over the gloves. It might be a blocking turn. And the gloves were put back right away into the equipment slot. Jordan's evaluating his life choices, seeing if this makes sense or not. All right, let's see how this goes. I wish we could see Jordan's hand so we know how much damage he's copying. Oh, that is a burn up shock. I can see why he's opting not to block, maybe because burn up shock and your entire hand, Garland of Spring into Starfall, you can threaten Zach's entire life total. Even if he does block, some damage will leak through, courtesy of burn up shock. All right, how are you playing this move, Jordan?
So what's what you got? Like Jordan having a tough time here thinking about what's the correct line to take. Frailty and a Blood Rot Pox is not on hit disruption that you scoff at.
That is very foul. The Frailty, so that your sword comes in for 1 instead. Seeing his burn up shock, I do understand why he's maybe opting. He's thinking if it's worth it. And the Blood Rot, if you do take the 11, it would be 13 damage in total. You're going to go down to 2 against a deck that does have Dominates. All right, the damage was taken. It looks like Jordan mathed it out, and he should have the kill on this turn.
He sees blood in his hands.
No, we're not playing Kasai. Oh no, Kasai having access to that would be amazing. We're starting with the titular Burn Up Shock over here, very Aurora. Garland of Spring cashing in. Oh no, he's being smart. Scar for Scar first, so that it still has go again. That's Scar for 4 go again. If it connects, you will take the burn up damage.
Is that an arcane polarity?
There is an arcane polarity in his hand.
Fascinating.
Both players with very standard list, I would say. The decision making here to take the damage because you still have arcane polarity to gain 4 in case Jordan gets a lightning press is very good. Flourish does work with the sword.
Yeah, the sword is coming in for 5.
-1 off the frailty.
True.
So that's 4 go again. Still a breakpoint. Arcane polarity gain 4. And I think that card might have been played a little bit too early. There is a release detention, or go again. So release detention, I'm not sure what the other card. Drill shot committed. I'm not too sure. This is the correct play because off Bullseye's bracers, you could have swung drill shot. That is lightning surge. Go again from the arsenal.
From Arsenal.
That frailty saved you 2 extra HP.
2 value.
That was a total 15 value off that sleep dart, laced with inertia, laced with frailty, and laced with blood rot. Zachary saved himself 2 damage by connecting that over here. But Jordan did the math. I'm pretty sure he thinks he has lethal over here. Right, and that is
second strike.
That's not second strike. It's the one with lightning flow. It deals 1 arcane.
Oh.
Yeah. So Zachary, if he leaks static shock. If he blocks 3, he will take 1 and 1 arcane, which he's opting at this point to not go down to 1.
If Zachary not backwood here, just have to pass on his turn. Jordan getting a full tempo hand next turn.
Full tempo back. He still has his gloves blocking for 2, and he has access to another burn up shock, life,
and lightning press.
Lightning press also exists. Zachary just drawing back up, spar sniping, a sedation shot, infecting shot, spar sniping. Ooh, scar for scar. He is still lower life somehow. Miraculously, 0 for 4 go again.
It is a lightning
does have lightning press.
Ooh, scary spot to be in as if I was Zachary. Such as I'm assuming his Assailant doesn't run any D-reacts, which means a clean block will not suffice.
Right, 1 damage was taken. Maybe Jordan was thinking that he was playing an attack reaction, but that is fine because now is second strike for 0 for 4 go again.
Yeah, Jordan maximizing the value he can get.
Yes, so we'll see what happens over here. Committing 4 to block, lightning press played. If Zachary has a defense reaction, Jordan still has an attack after, and the fist bump was extended. Very fun back and forth game map happening over here. Oh, that was a game. Man, this is exactly what you describe. Flesh and blood, aggressive games. Unfortunately for Zachary here, getting a rematch from Swiss rounds, he was not able to defeat the reigning national champion. Now, let's take a look who won in the other side of the bracket. Looks like Kai was not able to get revenge for you against Shahan. Shahan won that game.
Unfortunately, could not avenge me on Enigma.
That is very unfortunate. Now, we're going to get the finals. The fun note for you guys here is Jordan did concede before the game happens. Looks like he wants to play more ProQuest this season. He is qualified for Pro Tour Yokohama. I'm guessing he wants to play as much high-level games and in physical person to put himself into the mindset.
Also, yeah, Shahan, busy student, does not have time to play any more ProQuest. So he is happy to take the W here.
Take the W and the season and say that you've won against the national champion. So this game is just a show game. For the pleasures of the viewers, Jordan is defending his, I was going to say pride, but he's defending his honor over here. Right. Okay, I see why Jordan's not playing Brute anymore. He would have rolled a 1 off a scalp skin.
Yeah.
Wild ride for 5.
It's okay. There's no scalp skins for Jordan to roll in
right, so actually goated here. Jordan with a Sigil of Suffering in his starting hand, Scar for Scar, Jappy Quick, and I believe the last card is Arcanic's Shockwave. Oh no, it's Entwined Lightning. I think it's Entwined Lightning. All right, Shahan not presenting any arcane barrier. Jordan might be able to leak some damage on turn 0. Move to reaction. 1 damage leak. Very happy from Jordan. Your opponent's already 1 HP closer to death.
Unfortunately, puts the Scar for a Scar offline for him though. So if
Jordan's
Sean's
blessing the top of his deck.
blessing the
Arcane
top of the
Seeds
deck.
Life
Another non-attack. Another
and a
non-attack.
Bramble Spark.
What a gamer!
So he gets to cash in Bramble Spark, fusing with Arcane Seeds Life, then playing the Arcane Seeds Life.
Now that is a Canadian national champion draw right there. That's how you do it in the big leagues, baby.
Just gotta bless the top of your deck, rub it in, and give it some nice luck. So that is 2 Rune Chants, Bramble Spark for another arcane damage, Embodiment of Lightning.
Scar for a Scar, never punished.
Not punished, indeed.
7 go again. 3 instances of 1 arcane here.
And there's no arcane barriers from Shahan's side. Oh, that is very brutal. Here is 10 go again with 3 arcane in the back. Jordan's reading his own cards and making sure this is correct.
Let's watch this live reaction of Jordan's mind right now. Ding, ding, ding.
Bingo machine, man. It sounds like he's playing Starro instead. Oh my god. Well, that is 13 in 3 cards. Sorry, I can't count. 10 damage in 3 cards. Just classic Briar damage over here. Slightly above rate, very tall or wide sometimes. Putting you in a bad spot on how you want to block.
Sean decides to block 6 here. Jordan gets an embodiment of Earth. Think about whether he wants to play his next card or Arsenal instead of our 5 card.
And the last card was a Entwined Lightning. There is a non-zero chance that Jordan just doesn't have go again on his next hand. It would make sense to set up Entwined Lightning in Arsenal so that he would have go again with a potential breaking hand. Our defending national champion is just holding the card in his hand, thinking if he's playing it, and he's slapping it down.
Yeah.
4.
Makes sense. Plays around Smashing Ground, I believe, potentially. Is that card super rare?
Smashing Ground? Let's search it up real quick.
Oh.
Right, Smashing Ground is indeed a super rare. You don't get to play it here, unfortunately.
Unlucky.
Right. Well, that is not Smashing Ground. Holy damn, you almost led me saying the wrong things. Shahan not in a good spot. 10 HP down. Darfang for 9. No go again on that.
Alright. I'm expecting some no block full send here.
No block full and is
blocks 4, that makes sense. Okay, I will accept a block 4.
But Arcane Seeds Life, gain an HP, deal 2. I guess it blocks for 4 or deals 3 offensively. You're gonna get more value.
Well, it's a 2 offensively since you do gain 1 life. So it's like 2 offensive, 1 defensive, 4 defensive. Which I think it makes sense.
Alright, we see the Lightning Press in hand, and yes, I think that makes sense. Survive a little bit of HP. Oh, that's funny. Sprout for +3, Arcane Seeds, Arcane Shuffling, revealing the Lightning Press. The 1 arcane damage taken right away. That is 7. No go again.
Right. Shahan with the knowledge that he will have to block here a little bit. Now here we have a question for Jordan, is like whether you're playing the Lightning Press now or arsenaling it and setting up for a potential burn-up shock in the future.
Well, the Lightning Press is forever going to force your opponent to maybe overblock if they go way too low.
Yeah.
Blocking 7 against a 7.
Yeah, Arsenal's Lightning Press, waiting for the best moment to strike.
Maybe a snatch.
Yeah, a snatch.
There is the snatch of socking and a second strike. So no matter what happens, he might be able to ensure that he has that go again on the second strike. This is how you play as a national champion. Wrigley. Oh, Jordan, we love you, but we're glazing you a little bit too hard, man.
True.
Savage Beaten Tracker cashed in right away. Savage Feast. 6 no-go again. Action point in the back. Draw a card.
Yeah, pretty. Does have the action point from beaten trackers here. Sean trying to extend a wide turn here to try to maybe come back, but it is not looking super great for our brute player here.
Well, that was a 2 card for 10. Have to crack your boots, and then you get to Arsenal, a new card. Well, not the worst. 2 card 10, but losing a gear. Second strike consumed, and I'm not sure what the card under is. Was it Crackle? I think it was Crackle under.
Yeah, Arcanic Cackle or Crackle.
Crackle? I think it was Cackle. Yeah, Arcanic Crackle.
Mandible Claw. Yeah, cashing in the full value for the Blade Beckoner gear. Potentially one of the last times the Mandible Claw swings. We don't know yet.
Oh man, looking at the life disadvantage, it might as well just be the last swing of it. Shahan doesn't have an arsenal. Over here, oh, that is...
Snatch for 7.
And we know there's a lightning press in arsenal. If you're overblocking it...
This is kind of a dem if you do, dem if you don't line here. Because either you like overblock 10 and he just keeps the lightning press, or you block 7 and he still plays the lightning.
And draws a card. So yes, that is blocking for 10.
Yep.
And they are clashing for might. So now the value of the gear was given right away so that Jordan doesn't draw a card and Shahan doesn't take extra leak damage. But that is not the spot you want to be in, where you have to commit gear more than what's presented as attack. Right, let's see how Shahan's claws out of this situation. 2 mites. Strongest survive.
This does have a pretty relevant on hit.
What does strongest survive do?
On hit, you need to show a card with power higher than the damage taken, or else you discard a card. Which, assuming Jordan has a 4 power attack here, needs to block at least 6.
Right. Well, on the bright side, he still has his glove. But it looks like he's just going to commit 2 cards from his hand. Shahan taking back a little bit of tempo over here. Hopefully going to give him enough breathing room. But he's not dealing much damage to Jordan. Bring him low enough to strip more cards. Right. Gloves is committed. Flourish is committed. And yeah, that is blocking
6?
No, that's 7. Blocking 7, take 2.
Oh, they block for 3.
No, the static shock blocks for 3. Seeds block for 2, and the gloves block for 2. Revealing scar for scar. So now Shahan knows there's a scar for scar. Scar for scar. And there's a lightning press in arsenal.
Yeah.
How much are you committing as a block, Shahan? You don't have an arsenal and you have 4 cards in hand. There's so much tempo from Jordan. Takes the 7, goes down to 1. Jordan gets his embodiment of Earth to live through another day. There's only...
Reversals a card for next turn. This Shano is going to need a Hail Mary here.
Hail Mary, indeed. Throw the Buckwild down. And there's 2 cards left in his hand. Potentially trying to pressure Jordan to give 1 extra card from his hand. To block with 1 card. Might be the play.
You see a Burn Up Shock in Jordan's hand here. Which is probably...
a gamer
it
move.
is probably death if he gets to play his full hand here.
Indeed.
Jordan, no blocks. Waiting to see lethal on board before committing any blocks.
That is very fair. That is often the way to play it. He still has his Gauntlet of Spring. So Burn Up Shock into Starfall, removing the Blade Beckoner here would be good. Alright, Shahan's breaking his chess piece for 1 extra resource so that he could play his entire hand out. That's a second Buck Wild for 7 go again. Jordan has to commit at least 1 card. If he doesn't, he is dead. That Burn Up Shock will block for 4 defensively.
Yeah, so Jordan will have to commit 2 cards here. Probably Sean's gonna swing with. Does that have the resource to swing with Mandible Claw after?
He has no
Oh, he
resource
does
floating.
not.
He had to break his
So
chess piece.
he will need to commit 1 card here.
That is very unfortunate that it was double Buck Wild and he had to crack his chess piece for the resource. Now, Jordan just needs to live through this turn and he can start swinging back. How does he claw? How does Jordan clinch this game, or how does Shahan claw back up? Block 4, take 3 is the play. Burn Up Shock cannot be used offensively. That is a Weave Lightning and Twine Lightning, and I did not see the last card.
I am not familiar with the name of the card.
Weave Lightning is +3 to the next card you fuse.
Yeah.
Alright. Looks like Shahan is looking to break his Knucklehead. Being a gamer, apparently, he's thinking about it. He said, break chain. I'm not passing my turn yet. And searching for a dice. Searching for a dice, breaking the Knucklehead. We are gamblers.
4.
Okay.
Not the result that expected, but it is definitely not the worst case scenario.
There was a 50% chance that you would have less card in hand. I think you're happy to survive. Yes, you lost 1 HP block value, but you, as you said, you need to throw a Hail Mary, draw 6 cards, block enough, throw back 6 at Jordan, forcing 2 cards from his hand. But that was not... Lady Luck was not on Shahan's side this time. Let's see if Jordan can convert his entire hand, strip away the rest of the cards. Right, that is Weave Lightning, breaking his Blossom Springs for 1 resource. That is going to be for 2 go again. There's still a Blade Beckoner. Shahan can just block with it very easily. There it is. Blade Beckoner kept the entire time for that 1-time Starfall swing for free. Surge from Arsenal for 0 for 4 go again. Oh, sorry, 0 for 7 because of that Weave Lightning. 1 Arcane is being leaked through. He's revealing in Twine Lightning, and he still has another attack.
4 go again.
4 again, 1 leaks, and there's 1 last attack that Shahan cannot block. And we have a winner. Our defending national champion said, you know what? I'll play the game. I'm going to defend my honor. And defend his honor he did.
Showing us all how it's done. How we played a Briar.
Right. Well, they were so very courteous. They decided to open that goal foil on screen. But yes, showing us how Briar is played. Another gold foil being opening. Now that we saw what the distribution is and what remains, what would you want to see here?
A card from Compendium of Wraith, of course. And there we go.
Which one is that one? The boots?
That is Unflinching Foothold, the anti-dominate boots that has actually won Jordan 2 games against Azalea.
Damn. Wow, that was a very pretty card. You guys, the judges, everyone slapping, show it to the camera. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Other things, we have a showdown battleground happening, Silver Goblin on the 28th. If you guys want to show up, play some Silver Age, try to get that PTI, get a tournament pack, feel free to drop by. Or else, as usual, smash like, subscribe, drop us a comment. Much appreciated. Thank you to our friends at Noodle Empires for hosting a great ProQuest. Till next time.